Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of Generation of Wrestling Podcast. As always, is yours truly, the 28-year-old piece of gold, the franchise, aka the showstopper, better known as the GOW's resident tribal chief. And with me, as always, man, I got my tag team partner, my brother, my family. He is the flyest in the room, Mr. 1, 2, 3. Pin that ass down, K Breezy, aka EC's resident Isaac Hayes, King, too cold in the building, bro. What's good?
What's good, man? Doing what we do, man. Breaking news, man. Breaking news.
Breaking news. Now, I know this is supposed to be an NXT review, and I know we usually go in
no,
chronological
no, no,
order,
no. Not
but
a review. Not a review. Not a review. We shooting from the hip. We are shooting from
review,
the
shooting
hip.
from the hip, fucking pointing at rights and lefts and all that shit. Whatever the fuck, man. Fuck the bullshit, nigga. Let's get right to it, nigga. Fuck Gunther. Fuck that shit, okay? That's all I want to say. Don't introduce this motherfucker as Walter all goddamn week. Don't introduce him as Walter at the beginning of the fucking show with Roderick Strong, and then he decides at the end of the match he wants to be fucking Gunther. Okay, now this is exactly what I've been saying for the last 3 to 4 months. It is fucking hard to get behind NXT. And guess what? Walter was almost an unfuckable situation. I mean, the motherfucker. The St. Clair almost came out, man. I almost said the N word. Okay, the guy, the guy already has one fucking name. If it ain't enough for Vince McMahon and he wants to shorten motherfucker's name, Walter already had one fucking name. Even though the part that pissed me off too cold, this is the part that pissed me off. If the
What's
motherfucking
up,
name
bro?
was Gunther, guess what his name would be when he came to NXT? Fucking Walter. So that's what's pissing me off. Okay,
Well, I
now
mean, it's been Walter that's been the NXT heavyweight champion for like 870 something days. So I mean,
too cold.
it's it's
Let me
it's it's
ask you.
not like it's not like the man hasn't built a name for himself outside of WWE to where when he shows up, people are excited to see him wrestle whoever it is he's wrestling because they know they're gonna get a fantastic match, especially if it's somebody they want to see him wrestle.
Let me ask you a question. Okay, if Mercedes Benz, right? If Ford, if whoever, Lamborghini, right? If these motherfuckers, if they made their name via their craftsmanship, via their performance, via the make and the motto, and what their legacy stands for, and they've been doing this shit for 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 plus years, you're not gonna
Right.
go ahead and change the name of that shit now, are you? No, because that's what you are known as. If I go get a Ford, motherfucker, I want a Ford. If I want a Lambo, I want a Lambo. I don't want to get a Lambo and come back and a bitch say Prius on the back. That ain't what we doing over here. I want to get a fucking Lambo. If I want to get a motherfucker with an all-wheel drive, I don't want to get a front daddy. Nah, bitch, I want all-wheel drive. All four of them things need to get me from point A to point B. The fuck you mean when it's snowing? I can't get out my parking lot. Nah, man, that ain't what the fuck
I
I
knew
was
that's where you was
promised.
going with that. I knew that's where you was
Yeah,
going with that. I
yeah,
knew it. I'm like, oh, he's
yeah.
talking about his
I
car.
treat that shit like a 2016 Kia Forte and leave that bitch out back. Somebody come pick it up because the shit ain't meant to be for me. Now that's how I feel about Vince McMahon. You up here fucking up shit. You know, too cold, man. What your mama, you know what I'm saying? What your mama, your grandmama, your daddy, your granddaddy tell you when you go into the store, man? Hey, don't touch shit. You know, hey, what the folks be saying when we walk up in there, man? You break, you buy. That's what the fuck Vince McMahon doing right now, man. You fucking touching shit that don't need to be touched. You fixing shit that don't need to be fixed. You trying to reinvent the wheel. The wheel already had traction, motherfucker. The wheel got you to where you need to go. You could have done anything you wanted with Walter. Walter had enough presence stateside to where you could have did whatever you wanted to do with him and Imperium and dominate NXT stateside, as they've already been doing. Or you could have shot his ass up to the main roster as fucking Walter, and Walter could have sat here and he could have beat up Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar or Bobby Lashley as fucking Walter. Now, I know a lot of people like it's just a name change. That's just a little teeny sliver of the problem I have because
Mhm.
it starts with something as minute as a name change. And then what we gonna get next? We'll get Walter in a fucking singlet, you know, or it's like what? He's gonna be fucking mountain lion fucking Walter now. You feel me? Like, is that what we doing? You know, are we gonna have a completely different Walter? You know, so that's my thing. It's just like it starts with the name change. and then slowly but surely, are we gonna change his ring music now? It's the simple things too, Cole, that's kind of got me frustrated because Walter, he's not like 95% of the roster. Walter isn't a 6'2", 6'3", 230 pounds something. This guy is literally a fucking giant. And not only is he a giant, but he's a giant that knows what he's doing. He's believable in the ring, he's believable in his promos. I mean, dude, the mat is sacred. I believe that shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm fucking with it.
he makes you believe that shit. The Imperium makes you believe it, and that's what we liked about him. The sad part is that he didn't come stateside while Triple H was there, and now he's come and Vince is taking over, and it's like, but it's like, I don't know, man. I think he may be okay with it. Like people are like, some people are like, ah, man, this is Vince. This could be one of those days where it's like he could have been okay with the name change. He could have been okay with the changing the name to Gunther. Now, what they'll have him do and portray will be the question as we move forward. But uh, like Gunther. No, man. As soon as I heard Gunther, I thought of the damn movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, I like trying to kill Gunther, whatever. Man, that shit was funny, but it's still, I no, man. There was nothing wrong with Walter. There was
There was,
nothing wrong with Walter.
and that's the thing. Like, that's the thing. You remember when they tried to make Apollo Crews Apollo? You see how long that shit lasted? It was stupid. It was stupid. Like Big E. Okay, we're gonna just call him E
Mustafa
now
Ali,
or Big.
Ali.
Yeah, bro. Like, bro, there's nothing like Walter was a tailor-made Walter. It's like Beyonce. It's like Cher. It's like Prince. You don't need a last name, you know. But it is what it is, man. My thing is, okay, if it's just the name and it stays the name, then I would save my bitching, my moaning, and my complaining. But if the name starts to transition to a character change, which takes away from the Walter that we know and love, once again, that proves that NXT 2.0 is just fucking up shit. And it ain't them. It's Vince McMahon and his cronies. It is what it is. But, that's what happens when you have a 70, 80-year-old something trying to tell you what's new and what's hip. You ain't it, my guy. You're not it. You stick with the
Yeah.
main roster, with your flagship shows. You can't tell me what I should like as a young person. And
Yeah, I
unfortunately,
mean, well, I mean that's the thing. It's the consensus thinking. It's not the common sense thinking. It's the consensus of what people what they think everyone is okay with seeing. And Vince is still stuck in his ways of, oh, he slapped the shit out of his chest. He's still stuck in his ways of what he sees as getting over. And Leo says he loves the name Gunther and whatever his last name is they give him. I, I it's just a name change, but man, if he's not still Walter, if he's still not the guy, if he still doesn't perform I can't see him totally not performing the way he wants to, but there's a difference to the way he was being presented when we saw him with on Triple H and and all that, but now with Vince, it's like we don't have any faith in him, and that's the problem.
yeah.
We don't have faith in him, and because
Then
we
why
don't have
bring him
faith in him,
over here, Tuco? If you don't have faith in this guy, why the fuck? Why bring him? Leave him over in the UK
because
where they
he's
happy.
a Vince wet dream, man. He's a big foreign dude that's good in the ring, and he's over, and he's over, and he can use him, man. He's somebody he can put. Oh my god, I bet you, as soon as he's seen and realized he had Walter, he probably thought of Brock Lesnar, he thought of Roman Reigns, he thought of Drew McIntyre, he probably thought of a few people that he can go up against, and he's like, yeah, this kid's got something. Let's do it. Let's change the name to Gunther and let's do this. And that's probably was his thinking of it, and that's what we got. But it sorry, my dog's up there barking. My wife might just got home. But that's just what it is, and it's small, but it's like it's a sign of things to come because again, it's
Yeah.
WWE. It's everything that they have done that we have looked at, and it's like why? Like there was nothing wrong with what they were doing. Why are you? this is what was getting them over. And then as soon as you change them and then they don't do what they, and what was getting them over doesn't work anymore, then you want to get rid of them because you think they didn't work. But they were working. And again, we'll see. We have to see. We saw what happened with MSK. Um, I guess they really didn't far away too far. They were already kind of goofy, coming in anyway, but they got goofier, as the 2.0 took over. And they kind of became the little buddies of Matt Riddle. But I, it's just a name change for right now. He still put on a great match with Roddy Strong. I mean, that was awesome to see, and whatnot. But yeah, man, uh, it's going. We got to give it a 3 week. We got to see. We got to wait. We
All
got to
right, man.
wait.
Well, enough of bitching about the name change. I mean, it is what it is. I hurt my feelings, but hey, man, the show must go on, man. Somebody else I want to talk about, man. L.A. Knight. Okay, now I don't really care too much about the segment, but I do want to brush through it because I want to address L.A. Knight. So, L.A. Knight, man, he started off the show. He came out, he cut a promo on Grayson Waller. To me, I think the promo was a 5 out of 5. Then of course you had Dexter Loomis come out. Grayson Waller had a whole, what is a restraining order where LA Knight can't face him, blah, 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 can't be in the ring 50 feet, yada, yada. All right, cool. Dexter Loomis comes out, they have a match, boom, whatever. Tuco, LA Knight.
What's up?
I know we talked about LA Knight, I believe a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, when he came back to face AJ Styles. And we were talking about, where does he fit? Where do we see LA Knight and Vince McMahon's WWE NXT 2.0 rebuild? And if I remember correctly, I believe you said, LA Knight's one of the guys where, you see him kind of as a building block where, maybe his chance for the big time in NXT isn't really there per se, but he'd be there more so to have
Isn't
good
there?
matches
It's
with over
not
younger
there.
talent. But I want to say this because I I see what you said, and silly me because they changed fucking Walter to Gunther. But again, the kid in me, the 9-year-old WWE fan in me wants to have a little tiny bit of faith. Dude, I look at LA Knight and it is almost impossible. And I know WWE, they've done stranger things, right? It is almost impossible for me to look at a guy like LA Knight who has the look he has, to have the charisma he has, little catchphrases, come out, cut a fucking promo, a heel, face, whatever, good either way. It's hard for me, man, to even for Vince McMahon not to see a quality push or quality run at LA Knight. Would it be something magnificent? No, but I can't see at least one very significant push or one significant reign during his WWE tenure. What do you think?
I think you thought too much into that. It's LA Knight. He's too old. He's not there to be pushed. He's there to be put down and build other young talent. And this just gives Waller someone else to fight without having to bring him over from the main roster. So I mean, I don't mean to sound like the way it sounded, but I don't see nothing from this. LA Knight coming in was already a lightweight. Okay, let's see what they do with him. But then it's like as soon as he got there, they announced that Vince was taking over. So it was like instantly you kind of just gave up. It's like he's just there, and he's just been there. That's all he's really been. He's done a few things, but nothing really significant. He was just a body for war games. He was just a person for Waller to beat up, to kind of put towards the angle when he beat up Johnny Gargano, and then why he fought AJ Styles. Like that's really all it was. The minute we knew Vince was taking over, man, we knew that there was no there was nothing for LA Knight. I don't see him doing anything big, and if he does, it would be transitional.
Hmm. All right, man. Well, speaking of transitional, again, what are we in year 3 of the Dusty Tag Team Classic? All right, too cold. All right, okay. God damn it. Maybe, not, but maybe, and soon to be your WWE NXT Tag Team Champions. All right, man. So look, so we have the announcement for the men's Dusty
I'm trying to
Tag
figure out who
Team
you talking
Classic.
to.
You know, we
Well,
got GYV, we got the Creed Bros, we got Briggs and Jensen, we got Jackie Time, NSK, we got No Fan Malik Blade, we got Lil Gato, Del Phantasma, we got Andre chasing that boy Hayward. Hey man, okay, so things starting to shape up because round one, match one, we get the Creed Bros versus Briggs and Jensen, and boy, oh my
now
God,
that
this
was a really
was
good
a
match.
hard
That was a really
hitting
good
match
match.
because we see the Creed Bros. We see the Creed Bros. We see them whooping everybody's ass since they've been there. But goddamn, we ain't really seen Briggs and Jensen do too much in the ring lately. Bro, I don't
We've
give
seen
a
enough to
damn.
know that they something to be they forced to be reckoned with, but
They're forced to be
man, they
reckoned with,
but
but to
they
see
show why
them
they're
go out
forced to be
there, yeah,
reckoned with though.
but to see them go out there and handle the Creed Bros at the very first half of that match the way they did, yo. And then when I can't remember which one, I think maybe it was Jensen when he hit one of the Creed Bros with a mean ass knee, and you seen this mouthpiece fly out, and you see dude kind of had a look like, oh, okay. All right. And when he gave dude that look, I'm like, okay, oh shit, it's about to be on like a pot of
Here
neck
come that
bone.
receipt. Bow.
Yeah, bro, hard hitting match. I think my dude mouth was a little bloody and busted, but yo, man, this was a hell of a first match. Too cold. Okay, I know your
Yeah.
boys, man, your boys, the Creed Bros. They ended up picking up the victory. Let's talk about them.
Mhm.
But what did you think of Briggs and Jensen, man? I think they got a pretty bright future, man. If they keep on having matches like this.
I said I've already said it, man. You know, they're the APA 2.0 of, of NXT 2.0. That's really what they are, man. They're the APA, and which means they're a tough, kick-ass group of guys that can handle themselves. And they showed that in this match, man. That not only could they handle themselves, but they can handle the Creed brothers, which we know the Creed brothers can handle any goddamn body because they've been handling
Right,
people
right.
left and right. So. Uh, this was, I didn't even know these two were fighting. I didn't even pay attention to what the match card was. So I didn't even know these two were fighting. And then to see that they were fighting, I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be okay. Yeah, okay, okay. Well, all right, let's see what this do. And they gave it. It could have went a little. What it went about what 20, 15 minutes? About 50,
About 15. It's about 20 with commercials if you add in commercials and all that extra
okay,
shit.
yeah. So it went just about long enough. About the time it needed. Uh, and then you had and then you had the Creed brothers win. But no, I thought APA 2.0 did great. that's
Yeah.
that's what I'm gonna call them from now on. That's what they are. They the APA 2.0, man. They love to drink and have bar fights. That sounds very
All right.
familiar. So
Very, very.
I mean, if you want to say Sheamus and Cesaro, just to be a fresher reminder, but originally I would think APA.
So we had a segment, man. We had the NXT champion Breaker. He was in the back. He got interrupted by Electro Lopez and in steps Santos Escobar. And Santos says, hey, we gonna do this. We're gonna do this on my time. Dude, we were wondering when Santos was gonna challenge for the big belt. Now, obviously, he's not gonna beat Breaker, but to see Santos go up against a guy like Brian Breaker and have a shot, I mean, it's coming, or at least it's positioned to be that way. What were your initial thoughts, man? Your first reaction when you seen Santos and it looked like him and Breaker about to set up a program in the near future for that NXT chip?
Um, not a bad start. Um, I thought we would see Santos go up against Carmelo Hayes, but they veered from that. But they can revisit that a little later. But man, I mean, well, I mean, there's really not much choice. You can't use Pete Dunne because he lost to D'Angelo. He lost to D'Angelo last week, so you can't use him. So I would say if he would won, you could say, well, he's the next challenger, and then you can continue to build Brian Breaker. But if it's got to be Santos, it's got to be Santos. They ain't really doing nothing else with him, so you might as well go do something productive and have a pretty good, decent match with Breaker. We'll see. We'll see what Breaker can do. We'll see if he can hang. I mean, we seen that what he could do with Champa, and we know what Champa
Right.
can do. So it's like, all right, well, let's see what you can do with a guy like Santos that we know can go.
All right, Tuco, I want to shift things to the women's side. We got our girl Kaylee Ray, and she went up against Ivy now. This was a match, man, for me. I was super, super disappointed in. Not so much with Ivy now. We knew she's green, right? And she's been pretty much in the ring with people she was meant to look better than anyway, squash matches basically. But Kaylee
Right.
Ray, um, you can tell, man, this is really where you can tell, man, where it takes two to tango because this match was very, 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 very sloppy to me. I feel like the match was not good at all. And that's just me, being real. And then, of course, yeah, Mandy Rose, she came out with a distraction. Then, her and Toxic Attraction, they had a post match beat down on Kaylee Ray. And then she would get saved by Persia Parada and Andy Hartwell. Too cold. Do we need to go back to the drawing board, man, with Ivy now? Or do you think, man, this was just a bad match?
I don't think they need to go back to the drawing board. She's good where she's at. Let Michael Bivins continue to be her mouthpiece. Uh, it's just it is what it is because this is what they have. This is the direction that they chose. They chose to put people that are more green against each other, and you expect them to go out and have a great match. And this is what happened when you had two people who still need, they still need guidance from veterans, and you don't have but so many, or you're not even using some. I mean, where's EO Shirai? Like, where the fuck? where,
Yeah.
where is EO, man? Where is EO? Where is some of these other? I mean, we see Candice LeRae, we see Kylie Ray. I mean, that was cool to see her, but that was what it was. But I this is what you have, man. So the matches aren't going to look great because they need more repetition. They need more time. Maybe in a year or so we can revisit it. I mean, some of the women that came before them had those type of matches before, where their first couple of matches might have been bad, but then a year or two later, bam! Oh shit, this was actually good. And man, you can tell, you can see the work and the commitment and what they did and presented. So, uh, yeah, man, it was what it was, but let Michael Bivins continue to be the mouthpiece for Ivy now. I think that's really the best thing you could do.
All right, man. Last thing before we wrap this NXT up, man. I want to talk because you mentioned his name earlier, so I feel it's only right. So we got that boy, man, Tony D'Angelo. He came out, man, and he had a closed casket funeral service, man, for Pete Dunne. And, he talking that talk, and he says, you know what, hey man, I got my eyes on another prize. I got my eyes on some more gold, and that's that North American Championship. And of course, you got Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. They pop up and they talk, they doing they 1-2, and then of course you get our boy Cameron Grimes, ready to take it to the moon as he comes out and he talks his talk. And then,
It,
now we left in the ring. And you got Carmelo Hayes. And Carmelo Hayes like, hey, look, man, we're going to let y'all two square off, do what y'all do. Then the winner come fight me. And then you had Pete Dunne trying to attack Cameron Grimes. Grimes hits him with a painting. It look like going to set that two up. And then whoever wins is going to face Carmelo Hayes. Too cold, man. When I mentioned Cameron Grimes' name, you seem like you had a little disappointment on your face. What's that about?
man, because this ain't Cameron Grimes, man. This dude got. I don't care for Cameron Grimes looking all New York style with her hair. I don't care for the JBL kind of Cameron Grimes, man. I
Yeah.
I want my redneck with a longer beard and a hat, and I want my country redneck. Damn it, flat out, flat out. That's what I want. I want my country redneck to come out with his hat on and say "To the moon." Like I want to hear that emphasis into it, man. Ever since he's been this new kind of looking, I just don't feel it when he does it. I don't feel it. I just don't feel this 2.0 version of Cameron Grimes, man. I'm not. You could say too cold, man. You tripping. You think it. You're overthinking it. Whatever, man. I know what I liked about the man. I know what was get. I know the style and the way he really presented himself is what made me like him, man. Because he was a
Right.
goofball, but it's like I understood him at the same time. So I, if he was a heel, I would get it. I mean, more of a serious kind of, still a redneck heel, but really plotting, try to doing shit, then yeah,
Right.
cool.
Right.
But he's just still the babyface Cameron Grimes. I coming out in the suit jacket without the hat. Like, where's the hat? Where's the hat, man? That's can you put on the country music, not this music. You put
Tuco said, "Where the head at? Where that though?"
It is what it is.
With that being said, ladies,
the segment, whatever. Him and D'Angelo will fight to see who faces Carmelo Hayes, uh, which I could see it being Grimes, because they were kind of teasing that anyway. So I could see it being Grimes versus Carmelo Hayes.
all right. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of GOW. We better get ready for this AEW. Then, yeah, man, shit about 9:30,
Fucking
9:45,
Gunther,
whenever the fuck the main
Gunther,
event come on.
fucking
You know,
Gunther.
we're gonna come back on and do our thing. But like Tuco said, and like I said earlier, I don't know what the fuck a Gunther is, but I sure fuck with Walter. And with that being said, we'll see
He
y'all
will
in
be
a minute.
Walter from now on. I will not be calling him Gunther. That will be Walter. Every time I met, that's Walter. Walter did this. Walter did that. Walter, Walter, Walter.
Hey, you heard him, Walter.